Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're going to make the lid for the container that we made last time. The first thing I'm going to do is create a sketch.
This notice will come up because you moved the first component. Since we don't want it to move again, we're going to click Capture Position. Now, we're going to create two circles, both centered on the origin. The first one will be 9 centimeters, and the second one will be 8. Next, you will select this ring right here and extrude for 2 centimeters. Next, we're going to create a thread again. So go to Create, Thread. This time, however, we're going to select the outer face of the cylinder to apply the threads to, so they will be able to mesh together. We're again going to select Modeled and leave everything else as is. Next, we're going to create a sketch and select the top face right here as the plane we're working on. We're going to create yet another circle centered at the origin, and this one is going to have an 11 centimeter diameter. Next, we'll have to select all of the circle pieces to extrude. It will be broken into different pieces because of where the thread cylinder we created earlier intersected. Go to Extrude and extrude by 0.5 centimeters. Next, we are going to select these two edges right here, then go to Fillet Type 0.25 centimeters. Next, navigate so you're facing straight down onto the top of the lid. We're going to go to Create, then select Sphere. It'll ask you to select a plane, so click on the top, then click the center origin where you want the center of the sphere to be. Change the operation from cut to join, and then from 2 centimeters to 1.75. Now that doesn't look too easy to grab onto, so what we're going to do is Control-click, then go to Move/Copy. As you can see, you can either type in distances you want it to move, or you can drag. Since dragging is going to be easier, we are going to move this up 0.5 centimeters, then click OK. Now this looks much more like a handle. The final thing we're going to do is to create the star pattern on the top of the lid. To do this, go to Sketch and select the top face to work on. Next, go to Create, then down to Ellipse. We want the center of the ellipse to be at the origin, then extend until you're close to the edge. Once you place that point, expand until you have an ellipse that looks approximately like this. The exact dimensions of this do not matter much, just make sure it looks similar to mine. Next, you're going to go up to the line and create a line just along this green y-axis. You will see, just press any other key or escape to get out of the line tool. Next, go to Create, down to Mirror. For the objects, select the ellipse you just created. For the mirror line, select the line you just made. We don't need this line anymore, so just delete. Next, you're going to create another sketch. So go to Sketch and select the same plane as before. This time, zoom in, then go to Create and select Edge Polygon. We'll move this later, so it doesn't matter where you put your first point. So click, then place your second point, 0.25 centimeters away. It will ask you to specify the sides of the polygon. Since we're creating a star, we're going to put that as 5, and press Enter. Next, we want to move this onto the line of the ellipse. So we're going to go Control-click and Move Copy. You can grab onto this arrow to drag it as close to the line as possible. It doesn't matter much if it's slightly off, but we just want it to be as close as we can. Next, we're going to go up to the Line tool and connect all of the vertices of this pentagon together. Then go up to Modify to the Trim tool. Trim all of the edges that aren't part of the star. This will create some constraint errors, but we're going to ignore them for now. Now we want to copy the star and put a copy of one on the other ellipse as well. So we're going to select all of these sides, copy, then paste. It will come up with a moving copy dashboard. All we're going to do is take this arrow and pull it across. When it looks about centered on that line, press OK. Then finish the sketch. To help with the next step, we're going to go over to the menu here and hide Sketch 11. This sketch might have a different number from you, but it should be the second to last. Next, we're going to go to Extrude, select one of the stars, and extrude it negative 0.25 centimeters. We're going to re-show the star sketches again, and we're going to do the same thing to the other star. Then, we're going to hide that sketch and show the sketches of the ellipses that we hid earlier. Then we're going to go up to Create, Pattern, and select Pattern on Path. For pattern type, change to Features. For objects, select the first Extrude command. Then for Path, select the ellipse that command is on. There are a few ways to use this tool, but we're going to be using it using the extent. The extent method measures the total amount of path you want your objects to be spread over, and then spreads them evenly over that distance. The other way you can do this is with spacing, which gives you a uniform spacing between each object that you can set. Come over here, and let's just put in 30 centimeters. As you can see, that was too long for me, so I'm adjusting my distance to try to make the distance I put in as close to the circumference of the ellipse as possible. Next, go to Quantity and put in a quantity of around 30 to 35 stars. It will work best if you try to make the stars overlap with the other ellipse as little as possible. Again, unclick Suppress and click OK. Next, do the same thing with the other ellipse and star. Go up to Create, Pattern, Pattern on Path. For your object, select the second Extrude command, and for your path, select the other ellipse. Again, type in your distance, then type in your quantity. Now this is where you have to do a little bit of adjustments on your own. As you can see, in some places, the stars overlap each other. If you do not want that, go back into each of these paths in the timeline and edit the features. You also may have noticed that the spacing right here for me was off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my distance. You may also want to change the number of stars so that the overlap between them, as you can see here, is minimized. Once you are satisfied with your result, you are done. If you'd like to create a component out of the lid as well, just go to Body 3 up at the top, Control-click, and say Create Components from Bodies. If you do this, you now have 2 components, and you will be able to move these freely around. Here is your finished product. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please leave a comment if you have any questions. See you next time!